And it's a beautiful Thursday morning here in the capital city of, is it Namibia?
In Namibia.
Yeah, the 24th of February, 2022.
Hello, there we go.
Okay, ek het die nie afgehaal. Ja, Kandra Tlabanelo, Tumela. Good morning all the way from Los Angeles.
Kendra SNLH is doing the shopping.
Yo.
Shopping
Los
videos
Angeles.
on shopping videos.
Shopping videos. Wow. Kandra, what are you doing in LA?
Yes.
And how long have you been staying in LA?
Don't go to Alcatraz.
Yeah, no, don't go to Alcatraz. Good morning, Morgan Estomish. Let's go. It's winter holiday here. Putin is busy. I need to go practice how.
Did you
to
see that
fight.
Russian? He is upset.
What happened?
He's going to take over Ukraine.
Why?
Without the Western world doing anything. The Western world just jabba.
But what did Ukraine do? What did you guys do for my guy to be so angry?
It was taken away, according to him, in the Gorbachev era. He's just taking back what he believes rightfully is his.
What I don't understand is that if you
It's like
look,
the Germans taking back Omaheke.
yeah, exactly.
You understand?
That is exactly what you're saying. Because you're joking about it, Coffee, but it's exactly that. Because I mean, Ukraine has been a sovereign state
Yes.
until
Democratic.
a democratic state,
And everything is wonderful and beautiful.
and then
No.
I think in the history, I mean, when Russia became a colonial power.
Yes.
They basically annexed. I mean, Ukraine became part of Russia.
That's exactly what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Neville. What's wrong with communism?
It's a concept. It's a concept that I don't.
Shall we, as Namibians, not become communistic? Because certainly democracy doesn't work.
Coffee, that is a good.
And
question.
we
Cuba
became
communist country?
independent.
Yes.
Cuba?
Hang on a moment. We became independent as Namibians in front of the United Nations to be a democratic country.
Yes.
But obviously it's not working because the people are just stealing everything.
It's too much democracy.
Let's go back into, perhaps consider going back into communism,
Yeah.
because that's all that will work for Namibia. Because Namibia is currently a country that I just find absolutely in criminal condition.
If you start like that, then I know
We
there's
rape our
something worse.
children, we beat our women, we steal our people's money, we do everything. You might as well just put a fence around Namibia and call it a criminal place. I'm upset.
As coffee so begin, you can does
I
nonsense in the news.
I tell you something.
The news.
I think that the ruling party has got no other option but to become communistic. And they've started with China already. Kyk hoe lyk hulle geboue, 3 helikopters, maar fokol helikopters.
As for the Mavutus.
3 helipads, but there are no helicopters.
Wait.
I'm upset now.
We'll bring the helicopters.
All right.
You'll
Yeah.
see the daga-dagas.
Yeah, the Dakatakas will come.
joking.
Hy slom goed aan die nuus as coffee so begin.
I hope I didn't drop the bomb on the morning show.
No, you did. It's important. Okay, it's important. What do you think? Should we become communists
Yes,
in Namibia?
I am for communism. We
What
need a dictator.
is good about democracy? What is bad about communism?
Yeah.
Please tell us, okay? I think, obviously in the history of Namibia, as we were fighting for the independence of Namibia, the only countries that assisted us were the communist countries. Cuba, Russia, China. All the East Bloc countries were basically the allies of a lot of African countries.
So why don't we adopt
Cuba se geld
socialism?
dit eens nie werk nie.
Or socialism?
Remember good old Adolf?
Adolf! Yeah.
But just imagine
Socialism.
It's as if we Namibians don't know what we want. It's
a
like,
guy with a
this
name like
doesn't work for
Adolf.
me.
That's the guy that wanted to take over the whole world.
Wait a minute, Mitch. Talking about the name Adolf, how many Germans still have that name in Germany?
No, isn't it illegal?
I think it went down
The
for
surname
some
also.
time. It went down for some time and then it picked up again.
Definitely the surname Hitler.
Hitler is illegal.
There's probably,
No, there are people called Hitler living in Germany. It's only their surname.
it's only their surname.
It's only their surname.
Not that they are
That's
It's like
related.
It should
called,
be illegal.
you live in China and your surname is Mao Zedong.
Yeah,
Same thing.
same thing, yeah.
It's only your surname. Or like you live in Elisenheim and your surname is Basson.
Kandra Cavanello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here. Kandra Clavanello says, Koffie, luister Drake's song, I'm Upset.
Right.
So Drake has a song called I'm Upset. Okay. Esther Misha, we remember Adolfina. Esther Misha says, he's already in the Ukraine. Yesterday, the Norwegians found a KGB boat in the north of Norway. Putin has already invaded Ukraine last night. Let's see who will stop him.
Yeah, let's
it's important
Don't
that
stop
we.
him.
It's important that we need to have a discussion or an opinion about this issue and Estamish, for me currently, I don't see anybody stopping Putin unless NATO decide to put boots on the ground in the Ukraine.
Right.
It's the only way.
Right.
But
NATO
if there's not going to be any boots on the ground,
Yes.
we're only going to be concentrating on sanctions.
Yeah. Turn
Come
off
on.
the gas.
Turn off the gas pipeline that runs from there
Nord
to
Stream or whatever. the
yes to Europe.
That will
you're-
just make him more angry.
case. So
And NATO doesn't fight like that. Come out, they will put boots in Ukraine. They would want to put boots in Russia itself.
No, that's not going to happen.
They would want to do that, and then
They
we have
not-
a all blown world. Come on, lost the cheetah.
Yeah,
and guess
it's not
who's
gonna
on
happen.
Putin's side? Donald Trump.
Of course. How
Idiot number 402.
I mean, come on.
The
It
way you
was
guys hate my
so
friend.
predictable
Yes.
that he's going to be on Putin's side.
So shall we concentrate at the American embassy and the Russian embassy in Namibia?
Well, you probably need to go ask them. some questions.
Nostrovia.
Dobry вечер.
Yeah.
Good morning.
But I think as we that know that we are going to be in the crossfire, the other nations, I think that we should there is this guy that brother of yours that doesn't care to destroy anything.
Who's this?
No, I'm just saying, like in a
Oh,
family,
okay.
that there's that guy that doesn't care to destroy anything. And then there's this dude that looks at the bigger picture that will probably be you saying, maar kom ons laat doen, maar net dat van as ons niet dat laat doen nie, dan het ons een groter probleem is. So Putin is down. Kom ons, let him just take Ukraine. It's okay.
No. I don't.
Do we want that really?
I think it's wrong because you know what? If the world would allow Russia to annex Ukraine as they did with Crimea, because that was the first offense.
Yes.
If we're gonna allow them to do that, so would it be okay for Egypt to take over Tunisia? Would it be okay
Yes.
for Zimbabwe to annex Botswana?
Exactly.
Would it be okay for the UK to annex Argentina again?
Exactly. Colonization, isn't it?
It's colonization.
Exactly.
It's
We know
bad.
it's wrong what he's doing, but I'm just saying, like, just for the
Ons moet
greater
net die man
good.
los.
Just for the greater good. That's that guy that
As
would,
long as
like,
he doesn't
okay.
stop producing vodka.
Yeah. No. Oh, the vodka price will probably go up
Yes.
now.
Invest in vodka.
Yeah. Let me see. Matudenje, good morning, family. Kandra says it's Thursday morning back home and it's only 10 p.m. Excuse me, it's 10 p.m.
Where?
in LA.
Ah.
So is it 10 o'clock at night, like Wednesday
It's-
night?
It's 10 o'clock almost here, so it can't be 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 10 o'clock
to them
yesterday.
at night now.
It's 10 o'clock yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. This is probably what she's saying.
Yes.
So it's 10 o'clock Wednesday
He's about
night.
to sleep
We are
now.
always ahead of America.
Of course, that's what
Africa is always ahead of America.
Yeah, with time.
I don't know figurative.
With
It's probably
time.
it's just with time, but I don't know figuratively. I was hoping that since we are 6, 7, 8, 9 hours ahead of the West,
It's
Yeah.
like a
we
triple
would
entendre.
be
That
we would be ahead of them with everything. Natalie sê ons is asfal.
Dis hoekom ek die lig aangesit het.
Estefanus, hey Ganji. Hoor kan maar die krim is klaar. Daai ouens peiers môre.
Kyk julle wat op die stream is. Moenie vir ons môre kan maar na comments gee en goed. En die groet vir Calvi wat julle gewoonlik groet.
Ja.
Of ek 'n Neville 8 as môre kom asseblief.
Ja, is Natalie wat hierdie nonsens begin. Sy sê hoekom lyk julle so asfal vandag? Estomish says some sanctions have started. NATO and USA will act soon. Biden ain't Trump. He has common sense, though he's slow. I don't know. I don't know what Biden is supposed to do in this instance. Is he considered slow because he doesn't have any boots on the ground?
I mean, he himself walks slowly.
He walks slowly. That's it. But how much
Sleepy
can
Joe.
you do
If you're in the White House.
if you're in the White House
At that
and-
age.
Not just at that age, but as a president of the United States, if either Russia or North Korea or
Yeah.
China attacks another country, what are you going to do? Are you immediately going to attack? I don't know.
The
I think those guys have a lot
in
of
the
advices.
Second World War, the Americans also started late.
They started late because it's only Japan that brought them into the war.
It was the
The second-
German U-boats that got the Americans angry. I'm serious, because the Americans couldn't send their ships up to England for supplies. Supplies!
Yeah, because
The
because
wolf-
I believe that the Pearl Harbor attack of Japan against the United States.
Yeah, I also thought
that was what got the Americans into the Second World War.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Hey, yo, we gotta do this now, bro. We gotta do this now. You see what they did to our harbor?
The Germans called them the Yankees.
no. Estimation. What the hell are you talking about? Also, the guy is joking. Neville, the man is joking about LA, and you took it seriously.
Ah,
He's in Namibia.
Shike, you lying to the
Kendra
morning
or
mix.
who?
Yeah.
Kendra is in LA.
Estomish Kandra just confirmed now there's a 10-hour difference. So he is probably in.
It's a girl.
She is in.
Okay, but we don't know how she
Nowadays, we
identifies.
don't know anymore who's
Yeah,
who.
we don't know how she identifies. So let's not say it on
Yeah.
air, and let's not get coffee.
We're not gonna go there.
Don't go down the
We're
road.
not gonna go there. Stanley.
Shike man off.
Julle moenie begin. Stanley D says Ukraine is under Russian attack. Mutumba says if we allow Putin to take Ukraine, what's to stop South Africa from taking Lesotho? Exactly. Or Swaziland, or China, or taking Taiwan.
Is
It's a snowball effect.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Is Southern Africa not very ripe for a war again?
Asseblief. I'm not going to war, and
I mean,
I'm not
look
sending.
at Botswana, what they're doing to our people.
I
Just
think
because
we
they're
have
fishing.
a chance against
Just because they're
Botswana
fishing.
and
Exactly.
Zimbabwe.
Botswana is shooting us just because we're fishing.
You see?
Isn't it time to shoot back?
Yeah.
You see, that's
Please.
the thing.
We don't want to start.
Why not?
I don't want to
Let's
have
pick a fight.
war with anyone. If you want to send your sons to war, please do so. I'm not sending mine.
Okay, and who are we gonna send?
Also.
Even who are we gonna send?
Because if you look at any war, you can talk about the Bush war that.
We send the gender-based people. They're very aggressive.
Kom ek lees liewer comments. Mitch, send me roses tomorrow. Biden is slow. He forgets things. He might say he'll help, but end up attacking another country due to names confusion, says Estomish.
Well, with the new generation, let's just kiss them to death.
And here we have Kalfi
With the
with the news.
This is Informante Live, and these are our top stories. The defense lawyer of jailed former CEO of Fishco, Mike Gipunya, has claimed that the Anti-Corruption Commission is not forthcoming with regard to the providing documents that prove his client's innocence. Tabang Fatela made these remarks in the bail application of the 6 men seeking bail in the fish rot matter, where it is alleged that government objective funds derived from the fishing sector were channeled towards the benefit of the accused. In his cross-examination of ACC investigator Andreas Kanyagela, the defense lawyer challenged testimonies made by the investigator that the company's Vanakadu investments as well as Njako, in which the accused in the matter, Philippus Wapopi and Otniel Shudifonia, allegedly hold interests in, received payments which they did not render services for. These payments were allegedly made by the Angolan entity Low Key Investments to the companies of the accused after it was allocated government objective quotas by Fishco. Public prosecutors argued that Gipunya had silent interests both in Jako and also Vanakadu, and used his position to channel government objective quotas towards low-key investments, and in exchange channeled these proceeds to Vanakadu and Jako. The Altava and List Group and CMB Tech, through their joint venture, Clean Energy Namibia, launched the country's first green hydrogen plant on Tuesday, an investment worth about 270 million Namibia dollars. We are delighted to announce our joint venture with ONL and the launch of a very innovative project in Namibia, Alexander Saveris, the Chief Executive Officer of the Belgium-based company CMB Tech, said. The plant, which is a demonstration hub for hydrogen applications, will be constructed this year in the Urongo region. And finally, the Namibian police reported 690 rape cases in the first 8 months of 2021, illustrating the staggering rate the crimes are committed across the country. To combat this social ill on the rise, Namibian Minister of Justice Yvonne Dausap tabled the Combating of Rape Amendment Bill with longer sentences for offenders. Statistics show the harsh and lengthy imprisonment sentences do not necessarily serve as a deterrent for would-be offenders, but it mitigates the impact. We should ensure as lawmakers that when accused is convicted of rape, especially under coercive circumstances, he or she faces the full wrath of the law, Dausap said. The bill will also increase rape sentences from 15 to 20 years in respect of perpetrators who are found guilty of rape, where the complainant has suffered grievous bodily or mental harm and is under the age of 13 and is by reason of age exceptionally vulnerable. Your Trustco share price today, the 24th of February, is at 1 Namibia dollars and 33 cents per share. Taking a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 15 Namibia dollars and 10 cents, against the euro at 17 Namibia dollars, and against the British pound at 20 Namibia dollars and 40 cents. This is Informante Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na.
Kofi, Mitch, it would probably be a good idea to get our Minister of Justice in studio
I know.
to give us a little bit more context as to
So Namibia
this new
is
ruling.
picking up the sentences from 15 to 20 years. We are a rape nation. We just rape. 690 rape cases in a country of 2.3 million in the first 8 months of 2021. Well done, you rapists.
We need another lockdown.
Just to keep the rapists away. Isn't that maybe the reason why they raped in the first place? Because everybody was at home and not at work. Because at work you protected, at home you get raped.
Yes.
That's how it works nowadays.
And
Terrible.
do we like there are almost different types of rape. Like you get sexually assaulted by your partner, there's statutory rape, and there's, so do they just put everything together and say these are
I
the
would not know.
So they don't really just break it down.
Yeah, but it would really be good. It would really be good, Mitch, like you say. I think, and I'm not gonna obviously express myself on this for now because it is a very sensitive issue.
Yeah.
So, but it would really be good if we can get into contact with the honourable minister, so that Yvonne can come in and just give us a little bit of clarity and direction as to how the law works,
And
etc.
just to add on that, like the other day when we're like you said, today we are it's mother tongue.
Ja, ons sal daarby kom.
Yeah, I wanted to just say, like, you see, her name is Dausep. Her surname was
Dausap.
Dausep.
Is it not Dausap?
It's Dausep.
It's Dausap.
It's A.
Dausap.
It's A. It's A. It's not
Yvonne
A.
Dausap.
Yeah. So if it like normally like my mom would be Gauses, and my dad will be Gausep.
Yes, I know.
But some surnames they keep it as Gauseps. Gausep, yeah, for the woman even. And it always confused me in our language. And I like if I hear somebody's Uris, I would want Urip. I would say Uris, and the lady will be like, "Nee, Urip."
It has changed, eh?
It changed, ne?
Yeah, it has changed because it used to be an S for women at the end,
Right.
and B at the end for men.
Yeah.
But it seems like they don't want to differentiate now between men and women anymore. I think in the last 10 years, I understand in the Tamaranama tradition, they don't give the woman the S at the end anymore.
Yeah, they
Is it out stays the same?
Yeah,
And
it's
Like my father is Kaufmann. My mother is Kaufmann.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, we do weddings and stuff, ne? You know, we do weddings and stuff, and now you have to announce these people.
I know, because, I mean, even the
I
first
always got
lady,
in trouble.
if I wasn't from that tradition,
Yeah.
I would say Mrs. Gangop.
Yeah.
And that would probably be considered rude.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You just didn't know
the woman's surname is different than the husband's surname.
Gainkos.
Kengos. And do you see that? Like, she got the S.
She got the S now that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Now I was like heel confused.
Yeah. Hell no.
Shines. We
Shines, girl.
didn't ask
Shines.
you. We didn't ask your opinion here to be part of the show. Why? Why are you laughing? Talking about that,
Oh, shines.
Estomich, you started this nonsense. Okay, you called Kandra a he.
Yeah, the guy.
It's you, the guy. Huh? And then we thought maybe you have a personal relationship with Kandra, and that is why I said he. Okay, So thank you for clearing that up, because you said, Neville, the man is joking about LA. Now you are saying suddenly, Kandra, sorry, they address you as a he. Ganje Estomish. Yeah. DJ Kaufi in the building. Stephanus, James, Ananias. Avondre Karuhumba says, most of our budget goes to NDF. Can we also not organize a friendly somewhere? Shut up.
And these people think
Shut up, Avondre.
they think
up.
war is funny stuff.
Aye.
Man. You have never had a Nama side chick.
Yeah. Mutumba says, Mitch, don't doubt the Zimbos. They still trained by the SAS elite British military training book. The SAS motto is, who dares wins. Yo. Estomi says, if there's war in Namibia, will you join the troops and fight or run and hide? I want to know how much you love your country. Me, I'll fight.
I'll fight. If somebody
Will
invades
gear
us,
up
I'll fight.
in those army clothes and get a Kalashnikov. I think
I'll fight. If somebody invades us, I'll fight.
Putin has 170,000 troops just like that, chilling with guns, and poor Ukraine calls for military reserves between 18 and 60 year old. Arme geoupas het nou met hul kniekoppe loop hardloop. Is nie maklik nie. The AMA 2000s will fail us. We're gonna need the village people to fight, say Maria Aziz. Tayshawn Estomich, how do you expect Mitch to run holding an AK-47? The gun is taller than him. Q-Base says, we have not built a school or hospital in over 30 years. Imagine what a war would do to this country and the state it would leave it in, and what that would mean for our children going forward. Cuba is very, very true.
Yeah.
Estomich says, Ukrainians will fight. They won't just give up like that, though they might be outnumbered. Very true. Avondre says, come to think of it, we have been 2.5 million for almost 30 years. Isn't this strange? You all do census to give us the same number each time. Avondre, I would slightly disagree with that. I remember we were just over 1.5 million by independence when I was around 17, 18. Our population has a steady growth of between 3 and 4% annually. And, and that is why we got to 2.5, 2.6 million. So the rape does define what constitutes rape, say Jurgen Kaysep.
Can we maybe ponder on that particular aspect?
Ek sal nou net laat dit nog nou so twee kommas lê. Maria says Putin, I hoor Putin. Putin is not here for jokes. He is keeping America away, but Ukraine don't see the games being played by America. Maria Aziz, what games is America playing? Dit sê Kaufi. On Kaufi teaching Stompie on Damrasa names Mitch loop vra jou skoolfonds terug.
Waar is Stompie se sertifikaat?
Ja, bring maar jou sertifikaat. Maybe the rapist should get hard sentence that will make some learn. Schools have been built. Ek lees gou die laaste ene van Des van Wyk. I agree with Q. Then let's talk about removing the Minister of Education and bring back Cambridge and salary increase to our teachers. This new curriculum het my baie kwaad gemaak.
But that's what Sanet must said when she was here. She said, "Come on, let's not joke or fool ourselves here. Let's lift the standard."
Let's lift the standard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So effectively, if you have eventually qualified for grade 12 on the Namibian curriculum, you can be very proud of yourself or your daughters or your sons. You can be very proud because it's a very difficult
and it's something challenging
qualification.
But you said,
I said let's lower
the standard.
I understand, so that everybody passes.
Yeah, but look. Even Fernani was saying,
well done.
How do we have so much money put into the education budget, and the output of the pass rate is, for the last 3 to 5 years, it's below 20%.
Exactly.
Doesn't make sense.
You need to sit down your ass and study and stop smoking dacha at school.
Het julle gehoor? Koffie.
Koffie sê hulle met dat.
Ja.
Ik voel voor hulle. So ek kan
Coffee,
hulle
coffee.
niet dat sê.
What do you
Sê
call
maar.
it? Is it coffee phonics or coffee? what?
Coffeeology.
Kaufology.
Coffeology.
Oh,
Yes.
tell them the coffeeology.
Yeah. Stop smoking
Another one.
weed.
Also, what's the purpose of lifting up the standards? But our classrooms don't have tables and chairs in them.
It's rather difficult, and we're going to touch a little bit on that.
Yeah.
But let's, before we go to the heavy stuff, let's quickly get the
Top fans.
die ngagoete out the way. I personally think that we need to dedicate today's show to none other but Tayshawn,
Tayshawn.
because it is World Bartender Day today.
Not World Bartender Day.
It's World Bartender Day today.
Don't use the word tender in Namibia.
Yeah. Okay, it's the World Barman Day today.
Yeah.
Bar woman.
Or Bar
Asseblief,
Woman
it's
Day.
offensive.
Baarmoeders.
Bar Human Day.
Yeah.
Let's say the World Bar Human Day.
Baarmoeders.
Ja. So the bartender might be just about everyone's favorite person on a night out. Bartenders are able to keep people well supplied with tasty beverages, most likely those of an alcoholic variety, at any bar or pub they happen to visit, as long as they have enough money to pay for it and aren't too drunk to be served.
Yes.
More than just serving drinks, though, bartenders often offer a listening ear, a bit of information, or even some advice. Some people even consider a bartender to be their unofficial therapist.
Exactly.
It's time to celebrate those men and women who work behind the counter or the bar. It's time for World Bartender
Long
Day.
live our shebeens.
Yes.
Because why would you pay $900 to go see a psychologist if you just take $100 to your bartender?
Just to take it to your bartender.
Because he'll sort you out quick if you've got issues.
And I'm not bullshitting you,
I'm
Kalfi.
serious. I'm being dead
I'm very serious about it.
Yes.
I remember years ago, what is this, the Waldschmidt, the guys who who sell the
Eckart,
eggs.
Ingo and
Yeah.
Eckart,
So years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I was doing some bar duties at the plot, because they used to have these what do you call it?
Bikers.
Bike motocross competitions
Races.
there.
Yeah.
So I would be there, and from 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, as the races are dying down, I would start doing bartender work. And it was good money, I mean, at the age of 22, 23 for me at the time. And the stuff that drunk people will tell me about themselves.
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
And they look at you and they almost look at you for advice.
Yeah,
What
they
would
confide
you do?
in you.
They
But it's men, no?
confide in-
It's men.
It's men.
Not the women. When the women get drunk, it's totally different.
Nee,
It's
then-
Nee, liewe vader.
Dan wil jy
Nee, dat
vat.
Koffie vat met
Liewe
plakkies,
ouwes.
dan gaan ons huis toe.
Ja.
daar's nie fout met dronk mans nie. Daar's fout met dronk vrouens.
No, but have you ever had a time where you actually confide in a bartender or somebody at the bar that you're drinking with? Like, just talk to them about your problems.
No, me personally, not really talk about problems, but having real guy chat.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, ne?
I would like stand here on the counter, and after a few gin and tonics, like, yeah, there's no debate. Here, Mitch. Check hyna, check hyna. Here net hyna lyk reg. What about that one? Yes, sis, my bro, in my time, hey, I would have done this. And then the bartender was just like, because he's wiping the glass. Yeah, devil, hey, Jay.
Ja.
But it's always, that atmosphere about a friendly bartender is really what makes you go back and
Yes,
back.
yeah.
correct.
En
Correct.
ene wat jou skuld gee, daai is
Ja, net hy's
Oor
Mitch
die
daai.
IOUs.
Ja. Yeah.
Ek kan net
then
die
again-
devil se oor sien.
Did I always say, invest your money in alcohol, because where else do you get 40%?
Hello. 40%
Yes,
or 40.
40%. Invest your money in
yes.
alcohol.
Oh,
Where else
yes.
do you get 40%?
Yes, 40%. It's true. What's the percentage of? I think gin. It's probably 43.
Ek dink
Ja,
ram
they've
is die
watered-
hoogste ding.
Gin is not like the old days. Our parents used to drink gin.
Yeah.
But this new stuff, amper sê ek weer die M woord wat ek nie mag sê.
Yeah.
It's like all watered down. It's like they're
Yeah.
mixing it with this fruit and daai pisang, and dan is it weer daai strawberry taste.
That's
The-
why I like gin.
The old people drank
Nee.
Gordon's gin.
I drink Gordon's gin.
That
Ja, is nog die
gin.
London.
Dis nie
Ja.
hierdie
Die
London
goed,
Gordon's
hierdie
London.
afgewaterde goed in
Ja.
pink bottles.
Yeah, I see there are some new gins all over the place. But Gordon's has always been my preferred.
Yes.
And yes, Kalfi, I like to put in a little lemon or an orange
You're allowed to do
of a biggie driver
Yes.
or a little bit of cinnamon
Is
or whatever.
alright so, maar wat Calvin mean is hierdie flavored gin.
Ja, ek
Ja.
weet.
Ja, hierdie artificially
What
flavored.
the hell is wrong with this generation?
Even vodka. Vodka word ook so gemaak nou.
I have a Russian friend who was
Pushkin.
Pushkin. Push.
Meer nog
Moet
vodka.
mooi sê, nee.
Yes, you would buy moise. I have a Russian friend, just for some of you guys out there who are vodka drinkers.
Yes.
Don't ever make the mistake that I made by gleefully admitting to a Russian how you drink your vodka. I was berated by a Russian here in Windhoek when I said that I mix my vodka with cranberry juice. Are you crazy? You don't mix vodka with anything. You drink it clean.
Maybe the Ukrainians started doing that.
And that's why,
That's why
Russians are pissed off. Okay.
Imagine putting watching our show.
Oh, please, for the rest, if we want peace in Namibia, don't mix your vodka.
Yes.
Asseblief.
Or don't tell anybody about it.
Ek is 'n Richelieu. ou.
Oh, yeah,
Karat die
Daar kom die
water.
boere nou met hulle brandewyn.
Karat die water.
Ja.
that nonsense is
Yeah.
very unhealthy. Ooh,
Okay, as Richelieu en klub tref. Ek hou van dat.
brandy is unhealthy.
'n Namma met
Bad.
'n Richelieu bottel en 'n mes.
Kwaba. Kwaba. Yeah. Coffee, you just want to make babies you.
I want to make babies.
This is what Estomish says.
Yes. I want to
Hi,
make
Morning
babies.
Crew, says Lucia Chivede. In your humble opinion, is it possible to rehabilitate a rapist? We will ask those questions. I hope we can
Yes.
speak to the minister. Stephanus, I don't believe so. Vosia Lana Greenwood, thank you, Kaufi. The kids should pull up their socks. It's more the privileged kids that have those tables and chairs that are failing, not the ones under the tree. This is what Vosia says. Des van Wyk say, amen to that. They have more schools in rural areas than we have in totally Namibia. Then our locals think they better. Namibians can hardly speak English. Yara! Die memme in education moet gooi en sit Sanet in haar plek. Jürgen says, nee, hulle het mos meer regte, totally protected, while they are free to trump on their victims' rights. Kandra says, nou wil ek drink. Taishon says, cleaning clover, is your liver ready? Oh, it's just doesn't Zanzi. Cornelia Shipindo says, my concern with the limited vocational, technical and industrial institutions that won't cater for those who can't continue to universities. What provision was done for those learners? Very good question, Cornelia. Nee, eiers moet af, moet in sy bloed verdrink. Don't kill them straight. That's too easy. Yarr, that is hoekom my relationship with you never worked out. Yes, it's these attitudes that you have. Your unscrupulous comments.
That's why I'm sorry if I do this now, but I have to talk about Yvonne Dausap now. Look, I understand that, to make the sentences longer for these rapists, from 15 years to 20 years. Is that really going to change the behavior? And changing it from 15 years to 20 years just makes us taxpayers pay for the rapists more and longer.
So are you...
What do you think they do in Afghanistan with rapists?
We must delete them. That's what Coffee wants to say. We must format them,
But
delete
no,
them, backspace.
I am
We're
just...
a democratic country.
Yeah.
Human rights, remember?
Oh, yes.
Let's go and give the rapist a hug. And put him in a room and feed him.
So you would agree with what Des van Wyk is saying?
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Hulle moet 'n bietjie
You
verdrink in
understand?
hulle eie bloed.
Nobody wants to murder another person.
Ja.
But for heaven's sake, man.
Estom
690 rape cases in 8
it's
months.
bad. Estomich says, no, rapists don't change, not even a pedo. I saw Dr. Phil's show, they did a survey and interviewed the inmates. These are really scumbags. How they grew and lie, they'll never do it again. That's what they do. They lie continuously about
Can I give you just a heads up here? 690 rape cases in 8 months, which makes it 86 rape cases every month, which makes it 2.7 rape cases in Namibia a day.
2 points.
Three people get raped in Namibia every
per
day.
day.
Without exception. Saturdays, Sondag, you just name it.
That works.
Okay, so would you say our country has a rape culture?
Yes.
It seems like it.
Yes.
Strong one.
Yes.
For the population that
For
we
the
have.
population itself, okay.
Yes.
It's sick, guys.
What the hell?
It's really, really sick. It's sick.
Okay, but like look at the other countries that have longer sentences and that also have the death penalty. People still do their rape.
Yeah, that's
rape
fine,
is still high.
but then you don't have to look after the guy anymore. You don't have to feed his ass and keep him in jail and give him an overall and all that. Just like
Examos, I'm a difficult... I say again, personally, I have a very dark side. I should never become president with certain swing powers. Not me, not
Right.
me and I. Because the first thing that I will do is I will definitely bring back the death penalty.
yes,
I'll do it. I will make sure that this if I listen to, and I'm joking about what Des was saying here, but seriously, that is me. I will probably have a little torture chamber for all the rapists where their balls will be cut off.
right.
And they will sit there looking at their testicles, how blood is draining from their bodies. Ek is nie nga daar nie. My kop werk nie. When it comes to what people do to abuse other people, and I'm talking about racists. Hoor vir my nou racists, rapists, pedophiles. I have no mercy.
Shall we not just introduce martial law?
And then do what?
Nope.
And then do what?
Because,
What will martial law
Okay, so
entail?
let's explain martial law. Martial law involves the temporary substitution of military authority for civilian rule. And is usually invoked in time of war, rebellion, or natural disaster. Our natural disaster is rape. Okay, that's
As we
our
see it now.
natural
Yeah, that's
disaster.
what we have right now.
So when martial law is in effect, the military commander of an area or country has unlimited authority to make and enforce the laws. Because obviously, we as Namibian civilian society, we are unable to stop raping.
Yeah.
So, and the minister is just moving up the sentences now from 15 to 20 years.
If
Why can that what happens in the I'm using this only as an example, Neville. That what happens in the township needs to be settled in the township.
Makla.
Ja, with South Africa.
Vergeet van die howwe
Ja.
en die tronke. Gee hom net vir ons.
Just
Gee
give him
vir
here.
ons.
Yeah, but then
Dan sal
it's
ons
very
dit hierso
vague that
uitsit.
somebody could just accuse somebody and you could kill somebody because of accusation. So,
I just and
that's very vague and very dangerous.
and I know what you're saying, Mitch, but I'm just saying, and that is my dark side, ne? But let's just make an example of one or two of you ones who have been accused of rape. Just vigilante, we just need to one or
justice.
two
Mob
vigilante
justice.
Falsely
mob justice.
accused. Falsely accused. To get rid of you, we'll just falsely accuse you of rape.
Let's say, you know, when you chop wood, you're gonna have a few splinters. That's just what happens.
Collateral damage.
Collateral damage. Laat hulle net weet. Hierso, from here,
Even if you're accused, eh?
hierso, in this area, from here going forward, if you steal again, we'll cut off your hand. If you do, and so that everybody can see, you know what?
So much for our democracy, right?
Yes, exactly.
We can't
Weapons
have
of
that,
mass
guys. We can't
destruction.
have that. Okay, what are we going to do about people that grow up in a culture where a man or a woman is like, it's their culture that they can have or marry a younger person? What do we do with that, man?
We've seen that in West Africa. We've seen that in India. We've seen that in Pakistan, where Saudi Arabia, where a child is basically given as a child bride.
Yes.
And you have situations where this poor child runs away, gets caught, is killed by who? By the father. Because you're dishonoring me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Stuff
What a
like
crock of
one
crap.
girl actually put petrol on herself and burned herself on social media
that. Very true.
because of that. And what I'm saying, no, what do we do? Because this is these people's traditional practices.
Such
and that's
bullshit.
one of the reasons the Middle Eastern countries are fighting America, because they don't want their traditions to be changed and their way of living to be changed.
I think you know, traditions once again are man-made. It's man-made stuff. Somebody decided many years ago,
This is
human beings, not God, a human being decided that in the Catholic Church, fathers and priests must not get married. It was a human being's decision. It's not God who said that. There are people in the 90s that I remember who were convicted of rape in this country, who said that there's a traditional belief, either through a witch doctor or whoever, who told him that if he rapes a 3-4-year-old child, it would cure him from HIV or it would make him rich. What a bunch of crap. Seriously. Huh? Kom ek lees gou nog 'n paar comments, ouens. NQA and private sector will have to collaborate to get grade 10 and grade 9 students to do on-the-job training. This is what Dante Lovo says. I tried working as a bartender. People spend their money. They would flock just to come drool over me. They tip like madness. I played great music and it was fun time, says Estomich. So, Kafi, jy sê die gin is nou soos die alphabet people. All flavors and colors. Jy kan sê, moenie jy begin nie. Moenie begin nie.
Yeah.
Taishon said, this klink Vrydag. Russians drink vodka. Straight says Mutumba. True. Russian beer vodka. Natalie. Never in my whole life again.
Yes.
Hey, wat het jy gemaakt?
Again,
Avondre. Straw rum is almost 50%. Yarr. Otherwise, Tassis, Punya Punya is finishing our soldiers.
Punya, punya.
Yeah. Dante says, Kaufi, the new curriculum in essence is Hauptschule, Realschule and Diap.
Hauptschule, Realschule und Diab.
Aha. Mutumba says, brandy is good. It has vitamin C and antioxidants with a wide range of health benefits. Mitch, enjoy with ice. I am not too sure about brandy having vitamin C and antioxidants. I know all those deposits that you do talk about is in whiskey. Brandy is extremely high in sugar.
Yes.
It will spike your diabetes through the roof. That is now one. Brandy and rum, I would hardly not recommend you drinking that, but it's just my opinion. Russians and Polish, they drink it clean. I have friends too, they are mad. They introduced me to KGB and Dwarek. Tequila is the worst drink ever. I call it tequila the killer. I saw a lady dancing on the table after she had 6 shots of tequila, says Estomish. Joe Shipa, Moro, the education system is messed up. If you can afford it, take your child to a private school for grade 11 and 12, says Monica Lewinsky. Their stuff is 60% and beer also strong. It's madness. They are liver killers for sure, says Estomich. Ja, you know, Natalie, we can ask hoekom rape mense? Wat lei hulle tot daartoe? It's sick. Mitch, when you bring in a new law, criminals just upskill. Look at how the rape drug become prevalent.
Oh, did you hear about that? Yeah.
When the Me Too movement came out. Mutumba, I'm not going there. I'm not discussing Me Too movements now. Cubase says, it will take us men to change the rape culture in this country because it's the way we talk about women when we are just us, the boys.
Yeah.
As long as that continues and we keep encouraging this toxic behavior amongst each other, those rape numbers will just keep going up.
The way we talk about women, and I've always disagreed with that thing. What do men talk about when they are just them boys? Or what type of people do you hang around with? Because people I hang around with will rather talk about soccer, alcohol, or something else, but we don't really, we don't talk in detail like, die cherry lake, ek wil haar klim eendag of wat. Klaar dan. Like, I don't know how talking about something like that could eventually lead somebody to
wonder
rape
what
somebody.
the women say
How
about us.
does that happen?
I wonder what the women say about us.
Kyk,
Ek like daai ou, ek gaan hom klim.
For me personally, I've been in circles where, like what Cubase is saying here, where men really, I mean, how the entitlement that we have as men, how we talk about women, the number of women that we have, the way that we lie, the way that we cheat, the way that we that is, and I can't lie that there was a little time in my life where I felt very entitled as to what I can do with a woman. I have changed over a course period of time. So
You lazy.
Say again?
You lazy.
Nee, is alright. Let me be lazy.
klaar, nee?
That's klaar.
Dis alright.
That's
Dis
alright.
verby.
That's verby. So Cubase, I hear what you say because and Kaufi, it's one thing that I say. There are 2 parallels that I do draw. Is that because we as men are majority the perpetrators when it comes to rape.
Rape,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
So it
That's
is
it.
important for us to take the lead in talking about rape.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is the only way that we can call out, because, you know, if I'm in a club with the 2 of you and you have a drug in your pocket that says, daar staan Natalie, for example. Vanaand gaan ek van Natalie kry. Maar ons sê, nee man, maar Natalie keeps on telling you she does not want you.
Yeah.
And you start hanging with Natalie, hanging
And
with
you
her.
don't go away.
And you don't go away. And you throw something in her drink. Okay? Which obviously relaxes her defenses.
Yes.
And you take her home. And we don't call you out
Yes.
on it.
Yes. Yes.
Ne? Then we become complicit in the bullshit that you are busy with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay? And
It
that
should
is
be like that,
and that
yeah.
is why we are saying it is important that men take the lead to call each other out. As much as we say Kaufi, and it's a discussion that we also have is, for instance, racism, not tribalism, racism in its purest form, okay, is obviously considered, and I'm generalizing here, is considered what white people have done to black people.
Yeah.
That's the traditional form of racism.
Yeah.
Racism can only be addressed if white people speak out against racism. Not black people speak out about racism. If white people speak out about racism, if a white person call out another white person,
person.
hey, jy sê nie vir hy man kafir, hy man is saam met
Very
my in
good
hierdie
point,
klap.
yeah.
Ja, jy sê koffie. Wat is kafir kom jy hier so en jy sê hey. Daai man is met my.
And you also distancing yourself from that person.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's the only way that we will have things like that where
Change.
society will change.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we need to continuously call each other out here. And I use the example that I use now because I know stuff like this has been happening. Die manne gooi eye gene, eye drops, what in girls' drinks, etc. Her defenses are down. Okay? That's just, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you totally. The point, and I want to really lay it down there. I just like, when people say video games are the reason why small kids are violent at school, karate movies are the reason why small kids are like, and it's just the same. I just feel it's the same. Like, I don't think a conversation of me and Kaufi saying that, oh, that girl is beautiful, and I've never hanged around the circle of men just being like, come on, hey, that cherry, as any ngani XLR. I've never hanged around. Ons praat oor games en goed. Ons praat oor Black Ops en goed. So I've never hanged around guys like that. So I would probably not understand that.
Ja, ek verstaan.
Yeah. But I've seen guys that would like forcefully be like, yeah, kom ons gaan iets doen, maar I claim J-Net. And the girl is like, nee, ek is met my vriendin, then he forces, and then the guy would later be like, je gaan, and then he'll start insulting the girl or whatsoever. And then he goes, the lady goes. And the next day you see them drinking together. There's another sort of behavior again there. So that's just me.
Estomich says, me too, Neville. Have your own torture chamber. Personal Guantanamo Bay. Castrating, fingers cutting. I'll work for you, Neville. Mutumba says, Kaufman, go look at how much rape happens in countries where military authorities are in place.
Sure.
The army starts doing the crimes. Look at Mozambique.
So in other words, the soldiers then think it is their deserved right of raping women in the countries that they've conquered
It's
or the
just very
lands that they've
vague,
conquered.
man.
Yeah.
No mercy for rapists, says Vedi. Revolting members of our society. Yes, good point, Mitch. Because some of our African cultures give men rights over women's body. If rape happens, you are charged a cow in year. And that is so true, Mutumba. I've heard about these apologists. We fix the problem and its roots, says Cubase. Probably women should learn to bite off the penis and throw it in the peninsula so rapists suffer. Estomich. Speaking of Russians, so Russia eventually launched a military attack on the Ukraine today. War is so ugly, no matter how far it is. True. Kutamundu, death penalty is a big risk in a not so good justice system. There will be a possibility that 3 out of 5 or 50 people will innocently be killed.
Yeah.
I hear you, Katumundu. Marshally Marsha. Absentee is the killer. I don't know that one. Almost
Absinthe.
absinthe. What is that?
Is a dop.
Ek weet. Okay, so dis 'n dop.
Absinthe.
So is it the
It's
whiskey,
like
a brandy? Is it the gin or vodka? Is it a...
I don't know what it is.
Never in my life again, says
Absinthe is
Marshall.
terrible.
Yeah. The inability or pure negligence to do research, fact check, or ask questions will kill the Namibian dream. Seriously. Says Dante Lovu. I would suggest you thoroughly go through the new curriculum and gain an in-depth understanding. Compare our new curriculum to those of already existing thriving economies, and I'm sure you will owe our honorable ministry and other contributors an apology.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Dante Lovo? Marshall, Mitch, jy lieg weer. Mans hou van strontpraat oor girls en wat hulle wil doen met hulle. That's his narrative, what he says. Mitch, have you walked in the street as a woman? They whistle, they make women uncomfortable, not cool, and some grab the bum. Nasty, says Estomich. Vosia says, Mitch, die statement van ek gaan haal klim. Wie sê jy is haar smaak en dan verkrag jylle om die ego te boost? Bad. Yeah, true. It also happens. A man cut off his penis and put it in a drawer. Men, why would someone do that? I saw it on the daily news today, says Estomich. Avondre says, so julle doen nie weer sports nie. It is because Barcelona plays Europa League. We would have touched a little bit on it, and Avondre, since you say that, very interesting game last night, Liverpool against Leeds. Liverpool beat Leeds 6-0. I thought, I didn't follow the Premier League table, and I saw last night for the first time, because I thought Man City is way ahead of everybody. Just for me to see that Liverpool basically still have a game in hand, and then they will be on equal points, I think on 63 points with City. So that's very interesting for me. The Premier League race is wide open. Manchester United drew against Atletico Madrid last night. I was watching the game with my son. Very interesting game. So the return leg will be next week. But very interesting.
En moet ook tijd maken voor soccer van nou af.
Yeah, Mark Tate. Guys, another question that I need to ask you. This week, we celebrated International Mother Tongue Day. Okay? That is a day that we celebrate the languages that we speak. And we talk about your mother tongue or your home. Because there's a difference between mother tongue and home language. That's how I see it.
Oh, yeah. No, I get what you say. But don't say mother tongue because it's not inclusive, Neville.
Let's not go there. Yeah.
So let's just get this right per definition.
Yeah.
A first language, native tongue, native language, or mother, father, parent tongue is a language or dialect that a person has been exposed to from birth or within the critical period.
Sê gou weer.
A first language, native tongue, native language, or mother, father, parent tongue is a language or dialect that a person has been exposed to from birth or within the critical period. So from birth.
From birth.
Ja, your mother tongue, dat wat jou ma vir jou die eerste keer gesê het, dit sal by jou bly.
Ek het byvoorbeeld Koffie, I had me and Lazarus, we debated this issue for the longest time. I come from, my bloodlines are from different tribes. Like I say, I'm Herero, I'm Tamara, I'm Nama, I'm Xhosa. There's a bit of German in there also, etc. I grew up speaking Afrikaans. That is the language that my mother raised me.
Right. So when you meet your mom is still alive, no?
She's alive.
Okay, and when you walk into her home,
ons praat Afrikaans.
Hallo ma.
Hallo ma. Gaan dit goed ma?
That's a
everybody sentraal groot winkels en hierdie man wat daar rondloop ken. Almal praat Afrikaans met mekaar. You have people who come from gemengde. Please, it's not gemeente.
Gemengde.
Gemengde.
Groende.
Ja. People come from gemengde. Policekamp, Nama lokasie, Tamara 7.
Everybody's there.
Everybody's
Wambu
there.
lokasie.
Wambu lokasie. When we meet at groot winkels, we speak Afrikaans.
So you won't find shines there.
Nee,
shine sal gerop word.
Nee,
Blokkeleer is
he will not be able to make it there.
Okay.
Because nobody speaks English not that we can't speak English. Because it's
just,
why
people just feel weird.
Why are you talking English? Hoe kom praat jy Engels hierso? Hey, wie is hierdie man? Ja.
Jy was miskien nie van die son nie, nee.
Yeah. So people expect me to say that my mother tongue is Oshierero.
Yes. It's not.
Even though I do speak 30%, 40% Oshierero. It's not my mother tongue. I was not
Never.
raised with Oshierero.
Neville, I've got to tell. Look, we the Kaufmanns, we must now Germans.
You're German.
All right.
Yeah.
But I've got English in me from my mother's side.
Yo,
Her mother was English. Okay.
There you go.
And this is where it gets interesting. Although we're from German descent and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, primarily.
Yeah.
The moment that my brother and I start getting into a more complicated conversation, not an argument, the moment we start talking something that is deeper than the norm,
Yes.
we both switch over to English.
Just like
man.
Because you can express yourself more
Much
in
better.
like much
Yeah.
better in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
if
express
it's
myself
not
in English way better than I can express myself in German.
okay, but so if the two of you just have a normal conversation, it's German.
It's German, but then it's very light. But then the moment we start where we get into deeper conversation,
Nee.
more thoughtful conversation,
Okay.
it just goes like this, from German just like this into English.
I would be honest with you. So I have 3 brothers, né? Like just he's saying. Let me just clear the mother tongue thing.
Yeah.
Mother tongue is Damara. I was raised with Damara.
Okay.
And my home language, in the sense that you're saying, would be Afrikaans, because we just speak Afrikaans. And here's the reason, because my brothers, if you see them, they're a lot darker than me. They have more of my mom's Vambu side. You know, they speak that, and just like he said, Kaufman, my brothers can speak a bit like you still speak 40%. They can only do probably 10% to, and
Vambu.
Tamara.
Oh.
Tamara. So,
Okay.
So the moment we also like, he wants to probably like just get his point across or something like that, and the conversation is deeper like that, he will switch to Afrikaans.
I want to ask you guys and also our viewers and listeners out there, what language do you enjoy speaking?
As I sit here,
Yes.
Afrikaans.
nee, I enjoy speaking Afrikaans.
Yeah, me too.
It's the language, and Maria, hey Maria, what's up? Maria was asking here, but Neville, there are children today who only speak English to their Arambo parents, especially in the city, and can't speak any other language.
You've also got to remember, English is our national language.
Yeah.
Since independence, our language is English. We took a decision, a joint decision, and we said we will speak English to each other.
Yeah, Maria is asking here, does that make it a mother tongue? It doesn't. Okay, I think, Maria, it's probably adapting. Sorry, ek lees nou hier adopting. It probably depends, I guess, in my opinion, from person to person. I cannot, for the sake of, because which tribe of mine or bloodline that I have will I now consider to be my mother tongue? Should I consider Xhosa? Should I consider Nama? Should I consider Damara? Should I consider Herero? Or should I consider Ovahimba, which is from my father's side?
Yep.
So which one is it? Maria, all I'm saying is that Afrikaans is all I know. And I think wat wag net gou. Iemand het hierso gepraat van 'n boegter. Somebody from Luderitz was talking here. Say my kombuistal. I'm not too sure who it was. I can't see the comment.
Yeah, kombuistal.
Yeah, kombuistal.
Yeah,
Kombuistal. So Maria, for example, people from Luderitz, okay, they could be Vambu people, but these people grew up in a coastal town who only speaks or predominantly speaks Afrikaans.
Ja, like Cape Afrikaans van.
Nee, is ek, hey, don't.
Is jy goed?
Hey, is ek Cape Afrikaans?
Hey, Cape Afrikaans.
Is boegter Afrikaans.
Jy los mense van die vlak uit.
Ja, because Afrikaans,
It kills me.
because Afrikaans, nee, has got different dialects. There's a Rehoboth Afrikaans.
Yeah.
There's a Windhoek Afrikaans.
Right.
There's a Walvis Bay Afrikaans.
Yeah.
There's a Luderitz Afrikaans. There's a Afrikaans is spoken all over.
Even the Noorders Afrikaans, hulle het ook hulle se eie style.
Okay.
And they mix it a lot, man. Like,
And there's probably
Weskus Afrikaans.
all Weskus Afrikaans.
Die
There's a
Namakwalanders.
Namakwaland Afrikaans.
Sjikke, daai
Keetmans
mense,
Afrikaans.
iets verskriklik.
Marintal Afrikaans.
Oh, Karasburg.
Karasburg.
No, you hear how they speak, né?
Takaza.
Yeah, Takaza. They have this Nama accent in the Afrikaans.
Yeah.
And like, and they can, most of them can speak Nama actually.
Exactly, because
I don't
of
know why.
colonial history. And
they can't.
What are we going to do? I don't know.
Stem saam met Florin Hansen. Jy vloek baie beter in Afrika.
Ek vloek baie lekker in Afrikaans. As ek sê, hey yo,
DJ, yo.
Kan ons op die ma ook nog inbring?
ja, Vossias, dis wat
Om jou
Vossia.
nader te kry.
Dis nou net om jou nader te kry. Vossia sê ons is saam. Ons boegters praat kombuistaal. Veral die dis wat Vossia sê, Jürgen Keiser sê veral die tipe Engels wat prokureer praat. Mutumba says even Botswana with the death penalty is there, yo. I think my family is disappointed in me, says Natalie, because I am that one child that doesn't speak our mother tongue, Damranama. The rest of the kids, gooi daai cliques. I read Maria's comment. Kandra, we will be speaking about that also. Clotilda, Mitch, jy is Damra, jy is nie van Keetmans hoop nie. Adopting a language for survival, better communication, or some other reason doesn't make that language your mother tongue. Now, Maria, what is my mother tongue? I'm the case study here. Please tell me what is my mother tongue. I grew up Afrikaans, says Masha Lee Masha, but I express myself best in English. Like coffee, it's an automatic change. Don't get me wrong. Afrikaans is lewe. Maria Eleka says, but I'm speaking in the home. It's not our home language. Clotilda says, after 18 years of Germany, I am comfortable with German, not even Nama. Now, Clotilda, your children are, you are from Nama descent, okay? You married a German, your husband is German, okay? So your children speak German. Does that make German your children's mother tongue? Since you are Nama, ek vra net. Yeah, you take your mother's side, okay? Sind visvai,
Which is offensive.
Ek lekker om in Afrikaans mooi te vloek. Dis nie lekker in Engels nie, sê Florin Hansen. Dis Vossia van die boeg. Norma Gould sê, I speak 80% German and 15% English and 5% Damra, Nama with my kids. Norma, what does that make you? Okay?
That's such a good question.
I
Are
don't...
we defined by language?
Hello?
Because you've got to remember, you can unlearn a language.
Hello?
Or your genes?
No, your Jesus got nothing to do with it.
So are we not defined by our like?
Are we as
The
humans
family-
not so
Mag ek wil jou
divided?
nou vra, wil
Are
jou nou
we
vra?
as humans, and perhaps we can even bring the biblical terms in here, are we as humans not so constantly at war with each other purely because of our languages? Because I think at one stage we sinned so much on this planet that God said He'll give all of us different languages. We will not be able to communicate with
Oh
each
yeah,
other.
yeah, I heard,
What-
yeah, there's a script, I remember
You
that.
understand? So
Tabernacle
typically
of
what
sorts.
happens is
Tabernacle.
if we are in certain communities, like you said, you get make it a Rehoboth Afrikaans and a Luderitz Afrikaans and a Grootfontein Afrikaans. We are defined by language. That is our big problem as humans.
And should we be defined by language?
You know that Walvis by the Biner, the way you speak Afrikaans, they will already know you're not from JC Bani.
And that's why we at war with each other constantly. We
course.
invade each other's places and countries and properties and all that because
My
We
language is better than
we,
yours.
we are, as human beings, defined by languages.
Norwegian, I have been speaking that almost my teen life. I speak that daily. 50% Herero, English 60%, Afrikaans, I am with shines. Sê Estamish. Monique says, lyk my Mitch soek stry met die mense daar buite."
Violence.
Waar so soek jy stry met die mense?
Sien jy die mense?
Floren Hansen says, warm bad bondelswarts Afrikaans is ook lekker. En lekker te lag as Wambo vriend Shoplight sê. Neville is a hybrid, alles is gemeng. Yeah, and I'm comfortable with being a hybrid. German is my children's mother language. Now that is Clotilda's take on it. Pastor Kaufi, I wonder to say, have you all noticed people change tones when speaking Afrikaans? They get a bass. On an important note, do we have students or Namibians in Ukraine? Because the chaos has commenced there. The government needs to bring back our people. Dion, I know there are a lot of our students in Russia. I'm not
But
too
then,
sure
then
about the
again,
Ukraine.
I'd just like to ask the question, why must our government bring back those people? Because our government didn't send them there in the first place. Why must
Like,
we
yeah.
as
Ja,
taxpayers
violence.
get these idiots back out of the Ukraine? They went there on their own. Laat hulle self terugkom. Vat 'n donkie kar.
Oh my God, man.
Mutumba says, I think I thinking to glorify our mother or father tongue when need cartoon or kids and TV shows in our
Ja, nee.
indigenous languages with subtitles, like Mzansi did with all the TV shows. Very true. What Kaufman said about making English our official language is causing many of us to lose our native language. I think dream, write, and sleep in English. I struggle to read or write in Subia or Silozi. Tangeni with the capital says, Neville, stop reading Maria's comments. She must decided to leave us for greener pastures. Nee, as sy hier is, dan sal ek haar comment lees. Okay, if she comments, I will read her comments. Okay, Esther says there must be, if there is a Namibian embassy. Floren Hansen says, as mens Afrikaans praat en skryf is meer maklik om German, Holland en Swedish te praat. Ek bly in Sweden. Hoor maar toe, Jakmer bro. Ek bly in Sweden en dis nie moeilik om taal vinnig te leer nie. I'm still part of the family. Toch. Ja! Kalfie is upset today.
No, I'm not upset.
Yeah. All I'm just saying is that, and I think from my side, don't get me wrong, English is not, Afrikaans is not any better than the languages that we speak. Don't think for a moment, just because you speak English, that you're better than me.
Yeah, and sophisticated.
And sophisticated.
And
Alsjeblieft toch.
people think, like, I don't know why they do that. And look, if you go to if you look at South African programs, all of them, generations, everything, what they put these people on a pedestal, but you hear so little English from these people, and whenever they speak it, you can even hear their accent in it. So I'm like, why don't you judge those people? Because most of their programs, their songs, everything
Is
80% is
Xhosa, Zulu.
Xhosa or Zulu.
Yeah.
Even the news broadcasters, you can see like what they do.
Kyk soos Mitch, you speak English with a strong Nama accent.
Yeah, I
And-
will.
And I understand that, okay? And I constantly hear, even if we are on the show, if we speak, especially when things become heated, then I can clearly hear
Yeah.
jy wil Afrikaans toe gaan.
Yeah.
Ne? Because it's the language that you are that
I
you
grew up with
feel
it, yeah.
that you grew up with the language, okay? And obviously to I guess to maneuver your way in the greater part of society.
Right.
And there's one thing that I've always tried to do is I would try and learn a new English word every other day, and I still try and do that, because if you arm yourself with language,
For survival.
things get better,
Yeah,
and better and,
and
better,
better,
and
yeah.
better. But I don't think for 1 second either Afrikaans or English is better than Oshierero.
Yeah, but however, Neville, you get English,
Yeah,
and then you get Santon English.
there you go.
The people that live in
Yes,
Santon,
in Sandton.
Johannesburg,
Yes.
very sophisticated,
Yes.
complicated people.
Yeah.
Everybody must listen to me
Well-
now, because I am the one from Santon.
Kyk byvoorbeeld. Kyk byvoorbeeld. Let's look at the Gallic history of English. Okay? You have English from England. You have English from Scotland.
Yes,
You have English from the Irish.
no, but that's not English.
Okay? Now the Irish would say that we're speaking English.
No, it's not. It should be English, but the way they annihilate that language is unbelievable.
But
I
that
mean,
is
Leave
if
them,
you
but
ask
that-
them where you're from, they say island, and then you say, okay, from what island are you?
Yeah, but did you say
And that-
Ireland?
I mean, they
Island.
developed the IRA
The-
and stuff like that.
the R is in the mouth, like
Maria, even you, ne? Jace Vambu dates Porra, ne? The Portuguese that you know from Angola, I swear the Portuguese that you know from Angola differs from the Portuguese from Brazil,
Yes, yes.
from Portugal or Coimbra or,
Yeah.
or Lisbon or whatever. And how many other countries is
The Namibian Germans differ from the German Germans.
Hello. How does Austrian German differ from German?
Exactly.
Who spoke German first? Is it the Austrians or the Germans?
Yeah,
I don't know, but
That's
it'll be
the-
the Germans.
but
Stop
probably
it
your
now.
origin is from Austria.
We're on the right side of the Alps. The Austrians are on the wrong side of the Alps.
Let me ask you, ne? Let me ask you, like, because like Xhosa is such a beautiful language,
Eh,
and to
when?
mix it with Afrikaans, which Afrikaans is a national chochi tao,
As a yeah.
as a chochi tao.
Hey.
So I'm like to mix it with African, even us, ne, just the way the people are like, you know. No, why change that? Why change something that sells?
But and I would like to ask some of the especially my Arambo friends, because most of the friends that I have, if I have to put them in brackets, my yeah, sarcasm, yo moer, yeah.
I'm just looking at the comment of Tangeni.
Wat se Tangeni?
Tangeni says, which languages are not appropriate for the bedroom?
Definitely Mitchell.
What's your safe word, Neville? Come now.
My safe word.
Don't you have a safe word?
Banana, say banana.
I'll leave it up to the viewers.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Everybody. Just show Neville or explain to Neville what is the safe word.
In
Never
the
is trying to say
excellent-
something.
I'm gone, guys.
No, no,
waar.
Don't tell me you,
I know.
Mevrouw, don't have a safe word.
I know when Neville has a safe word, like he almost said like on what. I'd probably just explain like, kijk, ja nou, ik wil dat ook niet zeggen, nie. Dat ik nou een probleem kom.
Nee, money.
And okay, but this is one thing that I've always like noticed, yeah. Neville.
Here. You got me in a flat spin here now.
Yeah.
Safe word. Every good home should have a safe word.
Is dit nou as ons gaan klof of wat?
I'll leave it up to the viewers.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Come on, Maria.
Okay,
so- Yeah.
Explain to Neville what is the safe word.
I've always noticed this, man, like ever since we were in high school and all that. So when I was in high school, I started doing like this small video clips, like imitating my uncles, like having that deep Damara accent thing, and what I even
that's
made a
where
song.
comedy started for all of us.
Yeah, and
Imitating people.
yeah, so and it just became a big thing and all that and what, and I kind of like that because people like the way I do it and all that. And I had a friend which was like pretty stupid until now. He's like a stupid guy, like he's not really smart on like computers, nothing, you know. But the way he speaks English, like the way he can articulate himself in English, people think he's smart. People will literally think he's smarter than me or anything. But that dude failed grade 10.
Yes.
He doesn't have grade 12. He doesn't have a job. He works for his uncle.
So does that make him
No,
stupid?
like I'm saying he's stupid when it comes to like technology, anything. He doesn't know how to use a computer, anything. But if if you talk to him English, you think he's a smart dude.
Meantime, he's stupid as hell.
So what's the barometer of intelligence?
Yeah, and that's what and it always used to get me angry. That dude would say the same thing that I said. The same thing that I said. Just repeat it word for word to people, and the people would be like, I used to get mad.
We should have a safe word in the studio, just the three of us.
Yeah.
We call it mavutu. So the moment we say mavutu,
Oh, wait,
It's the
Mavutu, we
safe
use it a
word.
lot. Let's use your kafalaji one, Pavutu.
mavutu.
Because we are all past years. Let's say Pavutu.
Kom ek lees gou 'n paar comments. Wag
stupid.
net so 'n bietjie. Waar is die? Joe, I mean the comments here. Wag net gou manne, gee my net 'n bietjie kans. Avondre says, "You know how angry you get when you say Cora to a 2-year-old and she says, I'm fine." True.
Yeah,
Dion Chimsizon says, I would like to think Kalfi was joking when he said that. That's a very sensitive topic. If it were any of your relatives that side, would you say the same thing you just said? Dion Chimsizon, ek weet nie wat het Kalfi gesê nie. Putin doesn't even speak English well. Most leaders speak their own languages. This is what Estomich says. I'm a proud Tamaranama. I'm a proud Tamaranama. But
Tamarian.
but since I live in Germany, I talk about I speak it more from normal growth. Okay.
There are bamboos who stayed in America, Florida.
No, Herreros. Preferably Herreros.
Herreros.
Yeah, that's that's the
Herreros.
go-to.
That stayed in America, in Florida, I think for 2-3 years or whatever. And they came back and they spoke totally different English.
Ne? Wow.
American English here.
Even Herodos, wat Canada doen.
Why? What we go under them way? Kalfi is the king of sarcasm. People miss it sometimes. This is what Maxwell shares. Maxwell, you are so right. Okay? You know, being Mediri Daitser for a number of years, I had to tune in my softer side when Kalfi starts speaking, because he will throw a sarcastic curveball at you and you wouldn't even catch it. So,
Ek dink ons is lelik gewoond over hom.
yeah. More young old man says Willem Amukwaya. Avondre, I would love to speak about Ricky Rick, and we don't have enough time. But the cryptic messages of mental health that this boy has been suffering of since, I mean, before he committed suicide yesterday. Yeah, it's bad. It's really, really bad.
Man, these people. I'm just mad at that situation. That's why I didn't.
Keep that thought. It is a discussion to have. Mutumba says, well, gents, English is used as a measure of intelligence, which I personally don't agree with. Have you seen how we respect leaders with cultivated English and laugh at leaders with an African accent? Mutumba, you are so right. You are so right. It is not a government issue. They should go to the embassy and their families should arrange tickets for them to come back, say Kandra, unless if they are there on government grants. But if they went there on their own accord, then it's their responsibility to come home. Okay, this safe word nonsense, ne? That you people are laughing at me. Ek is moeg daarvoor. I will not read these stupid comments about.
Do you now know
me?
what a safe word
Ek
is?
ken nog nie.
So let me give it to you, that I can put you at rest.
Please.
As from today,
What?
tonight, in the Basson's house
Yeah.
in Elisenheim,
Yes.
there will be, between Neville and Mevrou,
Yeah.
there will be a safe word.
And when is the safe
As
word?
mevrou te
A
ver gaan
safe
neem.
word is a word serving as a prearranged and unambiguous signal to end an activity, such as
Normally,
between dominant and submissive sexual couple.
bondage, like as jy in die swart goede so
As jy die
gesit
sweep
word, en
uithaal.
Natalie kom slaan jou, en sy slaan jou miskien te sterk.
If-
Dan sê jy, banana!
If you no, banana is not a safe word. That's totally different. If you say banana, it just gets worse. Our safe word at home is Schweinsteiger.
Schweinsteiger.
Ah,
Schweinsteiger was he was a
was a
very
striker,
good footballer.
yeah. Hy skop
Okay,
hard.
but we're going to change the safe word tonight because you guys now know what our safe word is, so we have to change it to something else.
Podolski.
Schweinsteiger.
Podolski.
Hier Podolski.
Foroski.
Podolski is very Polish.
It's German Polish.
Yeah, it's
German
German
Polish.
Polish. Yeah. How do we
German.
assess? And yeah, Mitch, this is what Maria is asking. How do we assess smartness through technology, through grades, and that is
Okay,
why
yeah.
and that is why I was asking. Tangeni says, Mitch, you're hating on your bra.
Ja,
JJ.
maar dit is
Praat praat van onbeskof binne in bed as mens sagte kontant vra. Floren Hansen. Sad, Ricky Rick, rest in peace. Clotilda, Mitch, R. Kelly couldn't write anti-alphabet.
But do you know how you could speak English?
And how he could sing.
How you could sing? Oh, that's
Lis-
the thing that I'm saying.
Lizelle Kotze says, our neighbors speak 9
Yes,
languages.
Dr. Guevara, he speaks 9 languages.
9 languages.
9 languages.
You claim the bomchai. You claim the word
Dr.
bomchai in the
Dr.
studio. Okay? Maar Mitch, jy kan mos nooit by jou punt uitkom nie. Hoekom word jy kwaad as mense dink jou bra is slimmer want hulle verstaan hom?
Because he is not.
Jagan say, people think it's language the way you able to communicate and articulate yourself in public with other people as a measure of intelligence. Kaufi is the king of puns in the studio. You are so right, Mutumba. Estomich says, Neville, those heroes that say Oruhere, Oromaire, Orohere, Oromaire, yeah, milk, in an American accent. Julle raak bly wanneer Mwapoppy instant is.
Stephanus James, you guys will be waiting for days for a woman to be here. Don't worry.
Hey, Tuva, los ons uit. Hoor come van Maria. Why does every topic always turn sexual? Is he ons nie?
It's not us.
It's not us, okay? Floren Hansen says, om in vreemde land te bly en taal klomp kere verander na Swedish, Afrikaans, Damara en Engels klink 'n mens dom. Okay? Loop kyk daai docu-series on Showmax Sex in Afrikaans, dan sal u weet wat 'n safe word is. Okay?
Wat?
Ek sal met mevrou moet gaan praat vanaand so we can have a safe word.
Yes.
A good safe word. Hey, hoor vir Avondre Kaurumba. A safe word should be Putin.
Of Ukraine. Say
I'll
net Ukraine.
invade your Ukraine.
Oh, Ukraine.
Say net Ukraine. Come on, that.
I think it's 10 o'clock. We need to stop the
Oh
show.
my god, man.
What about the corona figure?
What about it?
Okay, let's
Putin, Putin.
Safe word is it not bombaclat? Estomich.
Oh my god.
Yeah, as in Putin or what? Yeah, Maria. As put in. Or even you as jy klaar is, nee.
Can I see your Ukraine?
Nee, as jy if we are done, then you can say het jy ge-Ukraine. Het jy gekry. It's true. A cousin of mine went to America with an Omaire accent for a few weeks and came back with a Texas accent. All of a sudden, Says Maxwell Chet. Jare.
Kijk, Herro's kan accent baie vinnig leer, jy ken dit. Maar die Herro accent moet altyd daar wees.
Die Herro accent moet altyd daar.
Ja, dit is altyd daar.
Ja, het jy gekrein.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, guys, we sort of almost come to the end of the show. But it's very, very interesting when it comes to language, how what we deem is. Yeah, it's you, Estomish. You are sick and scrupulous. In the voice of Sam Nyoma.
Me, I'm a young man here. These guys are above 50. I'm just taking in the wisdom that I am getting from them. So,
Floren Hansen, after his output. Maria, you see, it's these people, ne, who are on the stream with you.
Maria must just come back.
Yeah, who keep on bringing sex into the equation. And we are morally very upright here in the studio. We don't work on a contra. The safe word is kapana.
As jullie mekaar brei.
Hey, you see, Owens. This is going south quickly.
Okay, look.
Ja, Floren Hansen, baie dankie ook.
Like when we want to end the show, we should have like a safe word. Like when we want to end the show, you know.
Opuo.
Opuo.
Yeah. Opuo you can use also.
Opuo.
It's
Opuo is
a
a
safe
nice safe word.
It's a nice safe word.
Yeah, that's one steak.
Why Opuo? Why Opuo? Opuo. Maria's a safe word, a seeker bold. Huh? What makes you Maria, defend yourself.
Yes, black power.
Bratwurst sausage. Say Estomish. Tangani with a capital T says, thanks for delving properly into the language topic. Very informative. I think in the respect of the languages that yeah, Maria safe Jürgen Kaisepe.
Maria, just give Jürgen the safe word.
Oh, I know why you're saying bald one.
What?
Stadig nou.
Nee, why? Ek weet nie.
Nee, moenie.
Nee, ek ken nie.
Okay.
Los.
But guys, nevertheless, hier ek ken nie wat hier aangaan nie. I
Who's
hear
the
no.
fastest runner?
Oh,
I got it now.
My kid, man.
I thank all of you who who made the show what it is today.
Yes.
And yeah, guys, thank you everybody out there who delved into the topic, especially on our mother tongue. I think for you, whoever you are, decide for yourself what is your mother tongue. Okay? I don't know if anybody can tell anybody what is his or her mother tongue.
And
Because language is just language. It's no indication. I will always be inside who I am. The mixture of, this mixed grill that is inside of me.
bring me somebody to impress and I'll do the rah-rah.
Yeah, but I love speaking Afrikaans. I
Yeah.
love to speak English. I love speaking part of my native languages that I have. Julle sal maak laat ek mal declare word. Hoekom sal jy mal gedeclare word? For what, Natalie? For what? But thank you so much that you've joined us today. Tomorrow is
dankie.
Friday. Is gola môre. Ons gola môre.
Ja,
Moet my nie bel nie. Ek soek nie, ek wil nie, ek ken julle nie. Ja, as ons gola môre, man in sy baan.
En ek is born again as ek gepay. Ja. Man.
Betaal jou skuld.
Betaal jou skuld. Enjoy your day, guys. Sharp. See you
sharp.
tomorrow again.
Oh.
on it, go on it, man. Move on it, man. Move on it, man. Abash. Move on it, man. Abash. Move on it, man. Abash. Eh. Abash. Eh. Abash. Eh. Move on it, man. Move on it, man. Abash. Let's get busy. It ain't that